Hi there and welcome back to your channel Staffelchef. Today we are most likely able to make use of our solar panel installation for the very first time. After some improvements in our base and another unknown signal, we are grinding down our small atmospheric thrusters in order to weld the first rotor. This is necessary since we are not able to produce big steel tubes yet. We leave them in place just in case we need a place to park our metal grids due to limited storage space later. While the sunrise is getting closer, we are installing a basic assembler, which will enable us to craft our first 80 power cells. With the 4 metal grids from the thrusters, we can also start the construction of a large grid, small container. At the moment, we are only lacking some smaller steel tubes, but this will be solved as soon as the solar panels deliver energy. To get the maximum out of it, we are adjusting the rotor so the panels are in a proper position with regards to the sunlight. Therefore, I highlight the horizontal rotor to make it easier in the future. The naming convention is key for a proper installation. I recommend to label everything as soon as you build it, otherwise it will be a mess soon. We activate the rotor, deactivate its brake, increase the torque by just a bit and stop it, as soon as it is in the direction of the sunrise, which is being announced by the hilltops in the distance. Our next high priority goal is to get enough raw material to feed the basic assembler. To get the 80 power cells done is of utmost importance before dusk. Before we log out of the game for the first time, we have to make sure that we have a survival kit to respawn and a constant power supply to feed it. We make sure that the survival kit is connected with the conveyor system, since we want to further link it with an oxygen generator later, and ice is necessary to keep it running. The missing medical components cannot be produced yet. We have to grind down the small survival kit from our rover, but this shall only be done when the first battery is up and running in our base. Destroying our mobile survival kit at this point in time would be a rather quick end to our small survival series. At every conveyor system connector, we can enter the system like with a control panel. After checking the current income of energy on our solar panels, we can see that it is sufficient enough to run the basic assembler and head for materials. In order to keep the solar panels efficient, we are going to bring them in a proper position once again. We also set the minimum angle for the rotor on 49 degrees. This will allow to easily set back the rotor for the next morning and later to automize the system with a timer block. This adjustment gave us roughly 10 kW per panel extra. For the next step, we lock the rotor with a brake, give a first guess of a maximum angle and adjust the speed to 0.01 rounds per minute. This would take the rotor 100 minutes for a full turn, but since we most likely only need a third of a turn, it will take only 33 minutes. And this is by now my first best guess how long the night took. We will have a look from time to time and adjust the angles and the speed, and later also for the vertical axis, of course. 76 power cells are done, so we can start our first battery. If it is not allowed to build something, there can be 4 reasons. 1. You lack the initial components, but we do have enough steel plates. 2. It's a decorative block and it needs 100% free area, but our battery is not a decorative block. 3. The block is blocked by another grid, like a small grid like our rover, but there is nothing over here. 4. There's a stone or material or component in the closer vicinity. So look carefully. You can test case 4 with a simple block. Also, keep your build planner clean. Using it with 2 clicks makes life so much easier. After our battery is up and running, we can check the stats. The slow rotating rotator and the basic assembler on the standby are using currently only 3 kW. This looks good compared to our current income of roughly 1 megawatt. But keep in mind that we are at least adding an oxygen generator and a survival kit that we have to recharge, and that there's no energy income during nighttime. To get independent from stone and make use of pure ores like iron depots that we marked with a personal grid at the very beginning, we also need to add a basic refinery. Here you can see how you can make a fatal mistake very easy. These 2 blocks were the only connection between the solar panels and our machines, and most likely we will not recognize this mistake soon, since we still have some energy left in our battery. However, after checking the conveyor ports of the oxygen-hydrogen generator, we are almost done to start grinding down our rover. This marks the moment where we have a self-sustainable base which enables us to lock out. So close to finish this mini-series, I realize that there is a red marker coming closer, and with absolutely no experience in combat in this game, we will make the cut for today's episode. Stay tuned, gehabt euch wohl.